Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to install Ubuntu Desktop, which is the operating system where Inform Voice SMB runs. Let's talk about hardware requirements. We recommend a CPU with 8 cores, but if we are running a lab environment, we can be good with 4. We use 8 gigabytes of RAM, and about 250 gigabytes of hard drive. We need one network connection, and we support either virtualized platforms, Hyper-V or VMware, or bare metal installation, installing it directly on a piece of hardware. It can be a small factor computer, which we can find in the market. The version of Ubuntu we are going to install is 22.04. There is already a 24 version, but right now Inform Voice SMB is supported on version 22.04. Okay, so this example will run on Hyper-V, so you will see kind of the look and feel of an Hyper-V console. So once we define the virtual machine and we load the ISO image to install Ubuntu, we will see this screen. We can press enter or just wait. And this screen will turn into this other screen where the ISO is recognized and it's auto booting from the ISO image. So after a little while, we will be presented with this screen. We can either try Ubuntu or install it. Obviously, we want to we want to install it. So we click on the Install Ubuntu button. We are asked to select the keyboard. We will select English, and we can press Continue. And now we are asked what type of installation do we want. As we want just the graphical interface of Ubuntu and no more than that. We don't want any other application being pre-installed into the Ubuntu. So we will select minimal installation. We will hit continue. And now we are asked if we want to preserve some information on our hard drive or not. Obviously, we are installing this from scratch, so we will erase the disk and install Ubuntu. This is just a description of the partitions that are going to be created, so we leave it like that and we hit continue. We are presented with this world map in which we can select the time zone. So let's select Chicago as an example, which is the central time zone in the United States, and we hit continue. We will be asked for an account name and a computer name. This step is important because this account name is the one that we are going to use to install and work with Inform Voice. So it's common to use a meaningful username like IFV support. In my case, I'm using a historical account name that we were used for years, but I mean you can choose another one. Also, the computer name is important because we will use the computer name in the future to point to the Inform Voice server. instead of just using the IP address. So it's better to use a meaningful computer name, or if the customer has a naming convention, they can use a naming convention. Um, so once we select, we write down a computer name and pick a suitable username, we will hit continue. And here we will just wait until the progress bar finishes copying and all the files and installing them and doing all what it needs to do. Okay, when the installation is complete, we are asked to restart. We will restart. Now we will hit enter to remove the DVD from the DVD drive, or remove the ISO file from the virtual DVD drive. So the operating system starts rebooting. Now we are presented with a username that we wrote down, and now we are entering the password to log back in. We will be presented with a few last steps to configure stuff. Well, we can join an online account which we don't want to, so we can skip this step. If the virtual machine or the physical machine has already connectivity through the internet because it found an IP address through the HTTP server, for example, it might already connect to the internet and find out that there is a new Ubuntu version, and it will present you a screen to allow you to upgrade to that new Ubuntu version. Right now, we will choose not to upgrade, and we will stay on 2204. Yes, we will confirm that we decline upgrading to Ubuntu 2404. We will skip professional services for Ubuntu because we are not interested in that right now. We won't send a system info to improve Ubuntu. We are not interested in that right now. We are not going to enable location policies. We don't want to know where we are. Everybody knows where this computer is located, so we will skip that step as well. And as I told you at the beginning, we are pretty much interested in the graphical interface because graphical interface is easier to handle than command lines. But we are not interested in any particular application besides a web browser, for example. So we are not going to install any particular application. Now, although we are not interested in upgrading to 2404, we are still interested in patching patching 2204 with any update that was released from the time that the DVD or the ISO image was created. So Ubuntu will find updates to 2204, so we will install them. Once we finish install them, we can restart the computer again. After we restart this computer for a second time, we will log in again with our account. And now we will do some little changes in the settings. As you could see, the Ubuntu machine found an IP address through a DHCP server that's sitting in the lab network where I took those screenshots. So it connected to the internet and it did a lot of things. But we prefer to use Inform Voice SMB with a fixed IP address, with a static IP address. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to reassign the network to have a static IP interface. So first we need to go to settings, and we need to find here the network area, which is the first setting shown in the list. And we will click uh, on this icon to open up the dialog box to make selections regarding the wired network. We will go to the IPv4 tab, and you will see that it's set to DHCP. So we will move it, we will change it to manual, and we will write the IP address, network mask, and default gateway that we chose for this Inform Voice SMB. We are also going to assign a DNS server, so we will change it from automatic to manual assignment, and we'll put the IP address of the DNS server of the network that we are in. We are interested in doing that because that DNS server will feed the network with names used locally by this installation where Ubuntu SMB sits. Then we will go to the IPv6 tab and we will disable IPv6. Inform Voice SMB doesn't support IPv6, it's only supporting IPv4 right now. So we will disable IPv6. And that's it. When we finish setting up this, automatically IP address will change, and you will see that we will reconnect to the internet because all our information is good. So now we are ready to restart Inform Voice, the Ubuntu machine for a last time. Finally, we log back in. And the last step here is we are going to install an application that allows you to remote access the Ubuntu machine. Normally we won't deal with a graphical interface or with the Ubuntu machine or server directly. We will remote connect to it. Even from the local network, we will use a Windows machine to connect to it. So whenever we need to actually access the machine, we are going to do it through remote desktop connection. Now, Windows has the remote desktop connection package already installed by default, but this is not true with Ubuntu. So we will install a package called XRDP. So first, in order to install XRDP, we will open the terminal window in Ubuntu. Once we open the terminal window in Ubuntu, we will issue those three commands that will install the XRDP package, which is the name of the remote desktop package for Ubuntu. And then we will enable it and we will start the service. And at this point, we are ready for our machine to accept the installation of Inform Voice SMB. Thank you very much, and see you on the next video.